Welcome to another hardcore video. A big thanks to all the other great creators out there that have come before and will continue to come after. Big thanks out to them. And now, let us begin. So this Aberation story starts pretty much just like every other Aberation story by waking up and almost immediately dying. Yep, several times it took before we actually didn't wake up to death. And it wasn't enough that we died to the average Aberation creatures. No, we added the giant glowtail ones, which are very hostile. Screw you, Carno. Yeah, they're not fun. They don't want to be your friend. But eventually we did get a foothold in my favorite base location at Fertile Lake 3. There was no basilisk this time, but there was also no stone, so I had to hand harvest all my thatch and wood. But it was going pretty good anyways, except I was one wall short, apparently. Good job. Luckily, at the beginning of day 2, stone finally fell from the heavens. And with that, we started to collect some actual resources. Then we spotted this parasaur and killed it for its hide, of course. Sorry about that, but it had to be done. Give me that hide. Took most of that, turned it into some more pestles, got a campfire going, forge, and a smith. We had just enough to make a pickaxe, but not a hatchet, but luckily, there was a Carno nearby that was going to offer up his hide next. Not bad. Let's get some tames. How about this level 18 Sabertooth with the little juvenile in tow, which isn't bad. We'll be able to tame out both easily, because they're pretty low levels. Oh yeah. And went ahead and tamed up the baby too. Went to the nearest metal node, but it wasn't easy getting there because we were running 1.25 spawns, so there was a lot of extra critters around. Although we eventually made it there and got some really good metal. Tamed up our first bulb dog, and it was an alpha flavor. Oh yeah. Light it up, buddy. Light it up. Then we started playing games with this Spino who thought he was too clever, and then I spotted this little gap right here in the rocks. I figured I might be able to get a shot in there. Yep. But she didn't like that. Kind of lost track for a second of where she went, but then, oh, I thought you're just right there, huh? Nope. Nope, not right there. Oh no, not good. We were able to get a little bit of space, turned around and fought our attacker. Luckily we had upgraded our bow with the upgrade mod, and it kind of saved our life. But then it was time to tame up a utility and get some stone collection going. While we waited, named the saber Strawberry Cream, and then we went back and got it a saddle. While it was taming up, we went to try to get some more metal, but this blue Ravager was kind of in the way. We were able to bola it, and I thought, well, maybe I can trank it real fast, but he wasn't alone, so I had to bola both, and before the bolas broke, yeah, that's not gonna knock you out fast enough. Let's get out of here. Decided it was a better idea to go back and raise up some babies. Went to our first loot drop and found a lovely blueprint for a rug. Bruh. Yeah, we'll just leave that right there. We'll come back and pick it up later, I promise. Sure. Found a decent level tech stego, knocked it out, but it's being camped by one of those toxic tails, so we kind of kept our distance. Yeah, it looked like it pissed off that roll rat, so hopefully we don't have to deal with it ourselves. And at the end of day 4, we had our first stego. there were these giant shinehorns near the base, so we went ahead and tamed them up, because they would kind of come in handy later when we were taming the Reaper, but more on that later. Started to tame this aberrant raptor. Wasn't too bad. Pretty easy to knock this one out. 2 shots to the dome. Or was that 3? Then we got some berries going because we needed some narcotics. And Stryder does pretty good. Then we saw this alpha raptor and decided to go ahead and tame her up. As you can with the alpha mod, tame and breed an alpha creature to a vanilla creature, you just don't always get the same thing. You get beta creatures. Yeah, like this beta raptor, which is somewhere in between the vanilla and the alpha's levels, but you get a couple of them together and they work pretty good at killing those glowtails from a distance. Well, as long as they don't get stuck on a rock. So I decided to go in for a swipe to see what would happen, and I immediately regretted that decision. And we almost got into a fight with the second one while I couldn't even see what was happening. So yeah, great, we're just gonna chill here for a minute. Okay, cool. Can anyone pass me some clean leggings? And then because we wanted to, we went ahead and tamed up this giant bulldog and bred it with its baby that was falling around and used it like a light around the base. Went ahead and built up some base defenses because I didn't feel safe without them. Then we made an alpha bench and went ahead and upgraded our primitive armor to alpha armor, which just doubles whatever your armor rating is. And then we stacked it into the upgrade station and started to realize we can make some OP armor. Built our base foundations, relocated everything, and yeah, this is pretty good. I like this. Took the giant bulldog out to see what he could do, and he was actually pretty powerful. And just like that, it was day 7. Finished upgrading the base, got a fab, moved everything around, and we needed a saw, but we didn't have enough materials, so we went out and found this lovely beaver dam. Yeah, one of the mods, additional aberrant dinos, apparently adds every creature that can. Aberrant beavers, aberrant mutagen, aberrant druidons. Yeah, we ran into all those. But once we had that chainsaw, we were definitely in the wood business. Then one of those toxic tails spawned near the base, and I kind of accidentally sent everyone after it. Even the shinehorns went in for battle. No, little guys, don't do that. Don't do that. Raided some more beaver dams and was able to knock out this pretty high level textigo right here. Aberrant PT. What? Yeah. Every creature was added. No matter how odd it was. But eventually the stego tamed up and we were halfway there. Just find a breeding female and we're good to go. Day 8 we went down to the blue zone because we needed a lot of obsidian for a harpoon gun because it takes a lot of raw obsidian. So I hit up this nice little obsidian spot with our new mining drill. And then we took our armor and turned it into blueprints because we were going to use the crafting mod to see how good of an armor set we could make. Got all the resources ready, took the crafting skill potion, and it crashed our game. Yeah, I think that was the ARK gods telling us that we shouldn't be doing this. The mod stack was just a little too OP, which is why in the next 100 days, there are no mods. But we did end up getting this really good long neck rifle because of it, so, and now I think it's time to go tame some shit. Alright, let's do this. But first, let's dye our armor black and red for hardcore, right? Yeah, let's do it. Ended up getting in a fight with this Alpha Carcanos, which knocked us off right as it died somehow. But our Alpha Raptor took care of it all on her own. Then we ran into this aberrant Megalonia that gave us freaking rabies or something. But luckily we did actually find what we were looking for, a beautiful high-level Ravager male. Now we just needed a female. While it was taming up, I happened to find a survivor's note, or an explorer note, or one of those. So I thought it'd be a good idea to try and kill as many creatures as possible, and then I spotted this ammonite and remembered it gives you the funk. And yeah, we started our own little mosh pit. It was okay, I guess. We were doing fine until there was 2 crabs, and I didn't want to be knocked off the raptor again, so I decided to get some space. But that just aggroed more creatures to us as we ran around. Great idea. Then we somehow even angered and aggroed this Tapishara? Like, where did you even come from? Why are you here? What? And then everything caught up to us. And luckily, our armor was pretty good. If it wasn't for that armor right now, we would definitely be dead. And oh, the Ravager tamed. Alright, we good? We good? I think we're good. Yeah, okay. I'll just take those resources, thank you. And let's go get our rapid. Oh, crap. Freaking alpha Arthroplura, really? The recoil on this thing hurts more than their actual spit. It's freaking crazy. Alright, we need to get out of here. But just as I'm getting back to the Ravager, so is a Megalosaurus. So, yeah, we had to fight this guy off, but luckily between the 2 of us... Hey, get back here! That's my Ravager. Thank you very much. Put you away nice and safe. Alright, are we good? Do we press on, or do we go back? We pressed on, because we definitely needed a female before we go back. Found another beautiful blue Ravager, although it was way too low of a level to even tame, and it was male, so that wasn't going to help in the baby production. Then we found a pack of Ravagers with a 162 female, but we pretty much killed her before we realized she was a really good level, so the journey continues. And then something happened that can happen down in the blue zone. You just randomly walk through spores and start freezing. While trying to look for a safe little ledge, we found 2 Arthropluras instead and had to fight them blind while trying to eat enough stemberries to not pass out. Yeah, that was going great. We didn't have that many stemberries, but we were almost out of the freezing spores, so I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna be fine. I spoke too soon. Alright, well, ate our last little stemberry because we ran through another patch of freaking freezing spores, and we were again attacked, half blind, but this time we didn't have any stemberries, so we just had to kind of hope that this ledge was far enough away, but we were getting pretty close to passing out. I was kind of worried because I had just 1 stemberry left. Yeah, this was a little scary. And then even though we had 200 torpor, you still pass out at 55. So, yep. And then I just had to sit there and hope nothing came along. Luckily, nothing came along. We finally awoke, grabbed our bulldog, got on our raptor, took a big sigh of relief that we were awake, and got the hell out of the blue zone. Home sweet home. Finally. Yeesh. Went ahead and made a glide suit because there are no flyers in Aberation, and glide suits are very, very useful. And just like that, we're looking pretty snazzy. Oh yeah. Wanted to go ahead and test out our Ravengers, so we put in the levels we had, and wanted to go see what kind of damage it could do. Took the Alpha Raptor as backup because I didn't want to get into a sticky situation, which actually was a really good idea because this Ravager wasn't that strong yet, as we tested out on this Parasaur. Seeing as the Ravager was only doing 1/10 of the damage that the Raptor was doing, we went back to the Raptor until we had a pack of Ravagers, because, you know, packs are better. Packs are better. Another metal run to start day 10. And then on our way back, we almost died. Just checking some stuff out. I thought that might have been a unicorn because it looked white from a distance, and then that one looked like it was like all white from a distance, but those weren't unicorns. Oh, why is this horse running? Oh, from this Ravager? What level is this Ravager? Maybe we can tame it. Nope. 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 Just nope. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, okay. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's right behind us. Great, great. Let's go. Let's go. Luckily, we were able to get around and all the way back to base without anything following us. And we didn't need anything to follow us because there was an intruder on our doorstep. But he was a tricky one. I couldn't really hit the freaking hitbox of this thing because it was like small and weird, and then it broke my armor. And then I tried to get it, but we eventually pawned it off on this alpha turtle, and it was no longer our issue, luckily. Yeah, you're a dead one. Went ahead and started our ring of fire to cook up all that metal. Yeah. The safest way to get red gems is by killing a roll rat and stealing its gems. Safest way, yeah. But luckily we found this really high level female Ravager, and that means we could start breeding it. And then this Parasaur was running around, and then I saw that it was running from that Alpha Raptor. So we had to assert our dominance and not let it attack our new tame. Luckily, it tamed up pretty quick, actually faster than the Dextago that we had already knocked out. Alright, there we go. We got ourselves breeding Ravengers. Not looking bad for day 18. I was being a bit greedy when I spotted this high-level alpha female Ravager, and I said, well, why can't we knock her out and tame her too? Should be easy, right? And then nothing went right at all. We totally missed. First shot, and then we're bleeding out, and then we can't get off of the freaking thing, and this was not going well. This was signs that things were just not going our way today. Almost immediately attacked by Meganera, but, you know, that was just a small issue. Went back to trying to knock it out, but it's an alpha, so it has a really high torpor. Eventually, it got out of the net and was looking really, really bloody. Just all of the bloody. Things were going fine, yeah. I got rid of all the hostile creatures in the area. Then I was like, okay, like, you gotta be going close to being tamed, right? One more shot, right? Oh, okay. Day 19. Went ahead and tamed up a beetle because we needed some fertilizer to make up some crops. The S+ crops will actually stack on top of each other, so you don't need a giant crop area because these crops weren't going to grow very fast, because there's no way you can get a greenhouse effect when you're, you know, technically underground and there's no sun. But we got our crops going, and we're all good to go. So there's these giant feather blight things, and yeah, you could totally tame them up. And this one looked really cool, so I was like, alright, we'll just tame up one, right, you know? And yeah, you can totally ride him, which felt really weird on Aberation, so yeah, we never used this guy ever again, but he did look really cool. Pretty cool. We used our crafting skill potion to make a pretty damn OP shotgun, and we were pretty sad at that point, because that was the last shotgun we were ever going to need. Finally got our beer production going, because the S+ farmer only works when she's drunk. Must be a nice life, tending to a garden and getting paid with beer. We put that thing away to never be seen again. Upgraded our climbing picks as best we could with all the resources we had, because we were going down into the first cave. Now this is the easiest cave, pretty much. You can pretty much do the whole thing on foot if you just had like a really good shotgun and some glide suit. Yeah, you're good to go. Time to test out what this shotty can do. Holy crap. It's like 3k, 2k damage? Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Yeah. Last shotgun we were ever going to need, but it was going to be a little faster with the raptor, so took her out, and yeah, we named her Alfred. Made these flame arrows just to see how well they would work, but Alfred still did more damage than the flame arrows, so it was still fun to watch him burn a little bit, though. Eventually we cleared out the first little landing area, and then we had to clear out the next little area. But that was easy enough by just kiting them off the ledge. And I thought there was just one left. Yep, but it wasn't coming to the ledge, but luckily we ended up killing it anyway, so here we go. Leap of faith! But yeah, this is a pretty easy cave if you just have a really good shotgun and a glide suit. And had made our way around and avoided the carcinoes down below. We went the direct path, found some more guys on the edge, so we kited them off, and spotted this Alpha Ravager, which actually kind of put up a little bit of a fight, but we still got to the artifacts. Getting back out was pretty easy, seeing as nothing spawned in behind us, so we kind of just walked up to the front. Nice and easy. Yeah, the easiest cave here on Aberation. Got back to base and put up our first artifact. One down, 2 to go. Day 21, let's do this. For day 21 and 22, we made sure that our farmer was well fed with beer. Yeah, managed the crops, went out for a hide run and some fresh beaver meat, because there was a bit of an overspawn going on with all these beavers around here. That's alright. We were going to put all that meat to good use, because we were going to start breeding soon, and we were going to need a lot of meat for that. Went ahead and made industrial grill, and got a crap load of metal, and turned on our ring of fire one more time. Cracked some eggs. Turns out, the giant shinehorn have the derpiest jump of any creature, but they also don't have a weight if you are carrying anything. A fun fact we'll use later. But while we were trying to tame up this high-level Equus, we were rudely interrupted. But luckily it was stuck on a cliff, so it was kind of actually easy to tame up. Easiest Equus tame ever. And of course, when he tamed up, we named him Mr. Ed. He was a pretty little boy, wasn't he? Aww. And we would probably never use him other than his pretty good weight. So wood harvesting became so much easier. Took him out to test how much torpor he could do, and dude could slap, like, just knock a Lystra out. Had to get some gas collection going so we can make our first hazmat suits, and then we were out hunting for Megaloceros. What a nice one we have right here. Luckily with our beautiful long neck, it only took like 4 shots to knock it out. Nice. Just clearing the area of all the hostiles. But of course it had to be an alpha arthropleura, right? How much health do you have? Luckily, we were still in the area and found this pretty high-level female, so went ahead and just knocked her out, because I wasn't too picky, because I knew I didn't have a lot of time, and this Alpha Tabajara, I just had to tame it, because I was bored, and I was waiting for the Megaloceros, so knocked it out too. Yeah, so the additional aberrant creatures also added aberrant Caprisuchus, which just really, why? Yeah, we already run into one already, but didn't want to run into another one. Eventually, Tapajar and the Megaloceros were tamed up, and on our way out, we heard these footsteps of this tiny little baby right here, and I was like, no freaking way, it's an alpha? It's the only way you could get these. You can't get alpha eggs, you have to raise a juvenile. And so we did. This guy would be an absolute beast. Once this one was fully grown, we went out and found some alpha creatures to kill and get some really good levels from. But it wasn't just 1 or 2, no, 3. Okay. That's a lot, but we needed the levels, and then we named our dude Torkin. Killed all the alpha creatures we could find in the river, which was a lot, because I don't know why, but they just all kind of over-spawned as alpha creatures. I don't know, but he got a crap ton of levels, and eventually we had everything we needed to make our first hazmat suit, and we were going to a really good spot to find some red gems, but it was also really dangerous. Got to the spot okay, but we were spotted getting to the spot, accidentally threw out Carcanos instead of switching over to the Drake, but we were able to fight off the first Reaper. Yeah, nice and easy. But that was just gonna be the first one. This was gonna be one of the most crazy red gem runs I have ever done. Try to get a little bit of space from that queen. Instead, ran into this alpha. Great! Luckily, our armor was holding up, even though it was just a primitive set. Is that a basilisk? What? Yeah. After we dealt with all the Reapers in the area, apparently we caught the attention of all the Alpha Basilisk, too. Wonderful. Oh, and did I mention it was invisible? Just like this invisible Reaper Queen, I don't know what is going on, but then we ran into another Reaper. At least we could see this one, and Torkin was doing really good once he got all leveled up before we went down there. finally we were able to stop and get some gems, and then there was another invisible reaper. Things were just not going our way. We got tag teamed by 2 alpha reapers, which was just fantastic. Luckily, we actually still survived, got a little greedy for some more red gems, and found another alpha in the area. Great. I knew I should have left, but yeah, that's okay. I think it's time to go now. Went ahead and checked the gas main on the way back, and we had plenty of congealed gas to make some more hazmat suits and upgrade them as much as we possibly could. It's a little expensive, and it's definitely expensive to repair, so it kind of balances out. And we needed a lot of materials, so we went for another metal run down in the blue zone, and we got a bit of metal. Came back to find these 2 in a lover's embrace while they were making us some babies, so we let them be. Hatched up this egg that we found down in the blue zone, which had some great colors. They were almost even the channel colors, like purple and cyan, and just throw a little orange in there, it would have been great. Later, we had to go down again to the rock trick area. This was our second trip. Our first one we did on the live stream, so go check that out if you want to see how well that went. But yeah, you eventually make it down there, and we really wanted like a better rock trick because Miss Daisy was like a level 60. She was pretty low level. That's all right. We eventually got down there and spotted this egg right here. Went in for a landing and got prepared to ring the dinner bell. Ooh, 180, very nice. And eventually, once we cleared out all the rock drakes in the area, like all of them, even the extra 25% of them, we eventually were able to hop off, get back onto Miss Daisy, and go look for some other eggs in the area. Eventually did find some other eggs in some of the nests, but none of them were like really crazy good levels. What we did find was a crazy good level was this Alpha 222 rock trick. That was a juvenile. So we just killed some nameless to get some venom to tame it up. Yeah, it was gonna be nice and easy, right? Right? It was taking so long, I had time to go on a black pearl run, which, if you don't know, this is the best spot to get black pearls on Aberation. But eventually, we were able to tame up the rock drake. And as soon as we did, we got the F out of there. So luckily, because it was a juvenile, we were able to get an imprint on it, and it was even stronger than it could have been otherwise. Yeah. And then we went back to the lake to do some fish massacre. I ended up doing this off stream and didn't put any levels into this guy until he had all the levels possible, and then just dumped in all 74 of them at once. Made a nice little breeding harem for our Megaloceros. Following our guide from Chaotic Gaming, we were able to get a perfect pair of breeding Megaloceros and let them breed, while we went out and tamed up a giant bee. Left all the little tiny bees alone and just went back to base. Gathered a crap load of hide and meat off that brachy, and that's all we were going to need to feed our breeding Megaloceros. Day 30 rolled around and we finally started building our Reaper trap. The most expensive being the Behemoth Gate and Behemoth Gate door. because they take a crap load of cementing paste, so we went and borrowed some from the neighborhood beavers. Then we got all the polymer we were going to need from this carcanos, and we were ready to go. Yeah, we came back with all the resources we were going to need for a little while. So it was time to spot a location to place the trap, which was going to be, right about here. But we were actually on our way to the second artifact, and we were just going to slip in real quick unnoticed and hopefully get in and out with no problems whatsoever. Which is pretty much exactly what happened. Until we got to the artifact and found us being camped by everything. Went ahead and grabbed up the next artifact and then quietly exited the cave. Continued to build the trap because I was going to tame a reaper. Whether or not I was going to actually use it in the boss fight or not, I was still going to tame one. But we had 2 artifacts and we were 2/3 of the way there. Found out that you can harvest these things with the mining drill instead of running into their spores, and they gave you biotoxin, which was actually pretty cool. Went ahead and checked out our sap taps that we put down a few days ago, and we had plenty of sap. Things are looking good for your boy. Breeding was going well, so we decided to go ahead and upgrade our scuba gear, make all the Megaloceros settles we could, and eventually go down and get that 3rd artifact. But first we had to level up our dude with another fish massacre. Day 32 and things were looking pretty good. If you've made it this far, thanks so much. Think about hitting that like and hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And back at it. We were trying to tame up this Deinosuchus, which would have been a great water tame, but then he got all aggroed, so we had to fly away. And then he got all aggroed onto the coelacanth, so we had to wait. Eventually, he came out of the water and was hungry again. I was like, okay, cool, let's just run up here and shove this kibble in your face. Alright. But then we got back to base and things just weren't working? What? We literally just tamed this dude. It's an aberrant Deinosuchus, right? Aberrant Deinosuchus, yeah. Okay. Alright, I guess we're not using the Deinosuchus. So decided to go ahead and just take the rock drake down there. We could probably swim with the rock drake, no problem. It was time to take on the last and probably most dangerous cave on Aberation. Of course, there was a carcanos waiting for us, but it was a pretty low level. And now that Torkin was pretty much fully leveled up, he was a freaking beast. But he didn't really fit through all the caves, so we had to do some of it on foot, which was fine because our armor was really OP, and so was this shotgun. Eventually got to a nice wide open space and just took a minute to enjoy the view of one of the most beautiful caves in ARK. Then we kind of had a issue because we attacked that ammonite, and yeah, it made a little mini mosh party here in the cave, but Torkin stood up pretty good and didn't have any issues whatsoever. Until I tried to use this zip line, like it just wasn't working. Like, clip, no. But we brought the climbing picks just in case, and then we found a really interesting surprise. Is that a rock elemental? Is that an alpha rock elemental? Yep, that's an alpha rock elemental. But luckily, because he was extra big and in a very small space, he couldn't do anything. But it took forever to get rid of his nearly 200,000 health. And then he was blocking the door, and we couldn't get through. Torkin couldn't harvest the dude, and we couldn't get out, but luckily we could use the chainsaw on the rock elemental. Okay, that works, I guess. Oh, thank you for waiting, Mr. Titanoboa. Thank you for waiting. Now, this would be the only time I went in, saw giant ammonite down there with all the jellies and everything else, and I was just like, nope, nope.
Bravely bold Sir Robin brought forth from Camelot.
Got out of there and went ahead and just finished up the Reaper taming pen instead. You know, we'll go back down there eventually, don't worry. We had most of the stuff for it, so we went ahead and set up a taming pen. This was a pretty good taming pen, pretty basic design, and was brought to us by the one and only Syntac. The next day, we were ready to start and tame up some old Reapers. Now, this would be the first time I've used this trap in, so, you know, I was a little worried, and yeah, but building the trap was the easy part. Getting the Reaper in there, that was going to be the interesting part. Luckily, though, it wasn't going to take long to find one of these Reapers because we had set up just around the corner from a very popular spawn point. So we found our first one and we tested out our trap. Yep, she's still back there. How close is she? Oh, pretty close. Pretty close. Okay. And she's trapped. Okay, let's just knock her health down a little bit. Yeah, Torkin's like almost too powerful. We had to leave him behind and go in on foot. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a little bit closer because we don't have enough light on her from here, so yeah. Luckily, I only took a couple shots from that crazy shotgun, but then as soon as we turned the light off, we were getting attacked by the Nameless. Like, taming a Reaper isn't hard enough already, being down in the red zone, then you gotta constantly worry about these little guys. So much fun. I would later bring down those big shine horns to deal with that issue, but for now, let's just see if we can get ourselves pregnant. Now, eventually, we were in just the right spot, but just the right spot. Come on, do it again. You know you want it. That's not nice. Why did you do that? Luckily, our armor was hold up pretty good. It was only half destroyed, and luckily, eventually, 5th time's the charm, right? After a quick costume change and almost all of that armor being busted too, it finally happened. This was a test to see if our breeding pen was going to work for us. Unfortunately, I didn't have things set up right, and before I knew it, I ran out of time because my rates are up really fast, and I didn't get a single level on this first one. So that's unfortunate. But hey, it didn't die. And I'll take that as a success. Took our new little guy up to the surface so he could be with the nanny and get all the imprinting, because I wasn't going to be able to do the imprinting all on my own because the rates are super crazy fat. I don't even know. I got to redo those rates. Redo rates. Eventually, this dude was all big and strong, so we went and tested him out. And of course, we went down to the lake for a fish massacre. Needed just a crap load of crystal to repair our hazmat suits because they were so high level, it takes so much, but luckily we found this lovely little pocket of green gems. That gave us just all the crystal we were going to need for right now. Got a little greedy with the green gems, so we had to popcorn it out over to Torkin, but luckily he had plenty of weight, and we were able to take it all back. With some of the crystal, we upgraded our Reaper King breeding area with some ACs to actually hatch the eggs so we can kill the babies, so we can get some levels, because that's how you do it. Kinda, sorta. Well, that's how we were gonna do it. Now, I brought down those big Shinehorn to keep the Nameless away. I don't know where he came from, but we were finally ready. We had all the eggs. We just needed the Reaper. And again, it was pretty easy to find one. Get her trapped and get her low health. She just didn't really want to cooperate at all. So we tried to let her go, let her be free. But she didn't really want to go. She kept aggroing on us and the trap and everything, so like eventually she just kind of got stuck and retrapped herself, kept trying to impregnate us, and this was just not going well. Nope. Eventually she did figure out how to do it. And we had our next baby. After probably killing all the babies, we had all the extra levels we were gonna need just in time this time. Alright. And just like that, we were father again. But I wasn't really happy with the level, so I went and got a nice high level, but we just weren't syncing up. Like, what is going on? Take number 12? One more time. With feeling. You can do it. Eventually I just got too annoyed and killed her. Tried with another one, just to see if it was a fluke. Maybe we needed to, like, level out the trap a little bit, because it was on a little bit of a slope. I don't know, but this one didn't really seem interested either. Eventually, we did try it with an Alpha Reaper Queen, and it did fit. She fits. And she also takes forever to drain all of her health. Eventually, we were on our last set of armor, and I really wanted to see if I could get an Alpha Reaper from being impregnated from an Alpha Reaper. Chances were slim, but I just had to know. Eventually, finally, with her massive tail claw into her kneecap? What? Took our alpha baby back, which was not an Alpha Reaper, but that's okay. Went ahead and named it Jolly Rancher after a live stream viewer's suggestion, and then we got rid of all the babies that just weren't gonna make it, because this is Sparta and only the strong survive. Went back one last time to try to find a nice, really high level, so we found an Alpha 168 to get the best possible stats we could, but then it just wasn't happening until, you know, we got picked up, and then she just dropped us. She kept doing this. She just would, like, pick us up and then decide, no, you're not good enough. Scream in our face and just, like, watch us fall. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Almost all of the hazmat gear was broken. We went back and fixed it, and she wasn't here when we got back. So we had some unfinished business down in the third cave, so we were gonna go finish it. We used the Ammonite Bile this time in our favor and pulled everything out that we could, and then eventually we were gonna have to go in anyway. We tried to pull some more stuff out, but we only found a salmon, so we just had to take twerking in and hope for the best. And just narrowly avoiding those jellyfish right there. What am I doing? Get out of there, dude. What did you just go? Of course there's an alpha carcanos. Of course. But we made short work of him and eventually got onto some dry land. Thank goodness. Climbed our way up and glided over to take our artifacts. And since the zip lines weren't working, I had to climb my way out with this cool cliffhanger moment. But eventually swim out with the rock drake and we had all the artifacts. Alright. Now the artifacts were easy, but some of the alpha tributes were, well, they were going to be a little tricky. Went ahead and repaired all of our armor. Needed to get all of the congealed gas balls we could, and we had plenty at that point. Went on another crystal run.
All of the crystal. Ha 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 ha.
Got back to base, turned our hazmat suit into blueprints, and then crafting skilled up the blueprints and got some really good OP hazmat armor. It was a long night, so we went to the surface to try to find a true Alpha Reaper King because we needed the Alpha Barb, and all we could find were these modded ones which don't give you the tribute item. Ugh. So we just have to keep going, but then we found this 222 Night Wyvern egg. Okay, I'll take it. And okay, those are apparently a thing now. Were those always a thing? Alpha Deathworms on Aberation? What? That's a mod, right? We kept searching, didn't find it. Got trolled by a green loot crate. Eventually put all of that metal in and got it cooking. Tested out these night wyverns, which had some really cool colors. And yep, you could totally fly around on them as well. If you don't know, they kind of fly around like griffins and snow owls. You can do a little swoop attack, but this is Aberation and there's no flyers on Aberation, and you can't use a flyer in the boss arena anyway, so these guys were going to go away and never be seen again. Yeah, and then there was the thing where it messed with the Alpha Bulldog mod. It kept making them bigger. So I tried it out. It kept making it bigger. What in the world? Okay, this is definitely not in reaction to me using all these crazy mods on here, but this is definitely 100% a reaction of me using all these crazy mods on here. What? It just gets bigger. Luckily, logging off and logging back on reset, and we were going to keep those wyverns away from now. Go ahead and craft it up a second shotgun because it was time to go for Gamma Rockwell. We're going to test it out with just the rock drake because, you know, you can do Rockwell with just a rock drake. Except the rock drake didn't come with. Luckily, at least the Alpha Bulldog came with. Because if it wasn't for the Bulldog, we definitely would not have made it. And the really OP shotguns. Like, yeah, those really saved our skins. Would not have been able to do any damage to those Reapers if it wasn't from the Bulldog, but I only had one set of armor and they broke my chest piece. So I was down to the 3 pieces of armor that were max armor rating for the rest of the fight. Luckily, we had just enough speed to outrun the Nameless, outrun most of the gas balls, and the shotgun did its job, because otherwise we weren't coming home from this one. Things were getting a little hairy. We had a little bit of a following, so as long as we didn't turn around, everything was going to be just fine. Right? Yeah. Unfortunately, I only learned after this fight that you can't spam med brews. They don't stack, so I just wasted a whole bunch of med brews. Great. But luckily, we were at the end of this fight.
Oh my. What? Damn. The maxed out gear was the only thing that kept us alive. With just fucking 1 or 2 hits left. Holy shirt ball.
And just like that, we made our first ascension. But things weren't over because we still had to do Alpha. If you made it this far, thanks so much again, and comment down below, pineapple does belong on pizza. Or just be first, I don't know. Leave a comment below. No, really, like, leave a comment below. It's like really good for the algorithm and stuff. Like, anyway, decided to go ahead and craft up some more med brews, stack up a bunch of pair of armor, and get ready for the Alpha fight. Now, we had already done it once on foot, and a great YouTuber, Mr. Bitmore Dave, also did his Alpha Rockwell on foot on Gen 2, so I felt inspired to do the same thing after we did one final massacre of everything in the lake and this Bracky to max out the character. Once that had been taken care of, it was down to the final Alpha tributes. Alpha Basilisk, Alpha Reaper. Let's go. Time was getting pretty short, so I had to go get an Alpha Basilisk, and just like the Alpha Reapers on the surface, finding one that was a vanilla Alpha Basilisk was a little bit easier than finding a vanilla Alpha Reaper. Had to wait for night to fall. But eventually we went back out on a long night and hunted down everything we could find. Unfortunately, it took a little while, and we had to kill a lot of Reapers, but it was a long night, and eventually we did come across what we were looking for. No, not these guys. These are just slowing us down. But that just goes to show you how many freaking Alpha Reapers there were, and just how many we had to kill. I knew I couldn't leave until I finally found a vanilla Alpha Reaper, and wait, there's something different about you. You're like gray, or is that white? You look different. You look bigger. Could this be it? Grabbed this loot crate on our way out and went down for the Alpha fight. And, yeah, let's just say it went over great. We knew we were going to be on foot, so our plan was to keep running. We made some stimulants, we had some med brews, and then we just did the same thing. We just kept running in a circle, taking down all the tentacles one by one, until we could get a clear shot on Alpha Rockwell's heart. Things were going great until we got electrocuted and lost our bulb dog. But luckily, it was on passive flee. We just had to catch up to it. Get back here, buddy. Unfortunately, that wasn't going to be the last time that happened. The Reapers came out and weren't too much of a hassle, except their bodies kind of sometimes turned invisible and then I couldn't walk through them. But other than that, they actually weren't that much of a hassle, except they kept breaking all my armor. Excuse me, just gotta change my shoes real quick. Don't hit me. Nope, thank you. And then they caught up to me and totally hit me into the... Oh, yep, got electrocuted again. Surrounded by the Nameless. Was, like, just barely able to get away, and I knew I had to get rid of this one frickin' tentacle, but I was surrounded, and I couldn't get a clean shot on the tentacle. So I just kind of have to keep running after the bulb dog. I was almost there, and I finally got the shot on. Caught up to our bulb dog that was being harassed by this freaking Nameless. Would you get out of here? Thank you. Alright, let's get back to it. I'm just gonna run around this circle, dodge these Reapers, and take down Rockwell. Down to the final throws. Rockwell was getting very bloody, but we had a very large chain of Nameless following us. But that wasn't going to stop us, because we were so close! Oh, come on. Alright, we're finally on the last one. Just gotta get one more shot on this guy's heart, and he's finally gonna go... What the Reaper? Get out of here? What? That's what I was talking about. They just come up out of nowhere. Things were looking a bit dicey. But then we got the shot.